What is going on, guys? It's your boy Chris Cage coming at you 2 times back with another weekly race video. Today, as you see right in front of you, we are on the speed run track, and today we are going to do a realistic versus fantasy weekly race. Today, 10 realistics and 10 fantasy cars are going to go down the speed run to get their speeds read. This is yet another elimination style race, but only it is based on how fast the car is traveling. For the first round, we will only have 10 out of 20 cars survive, and then after that, we will be having in the second round the 5 cars surviving, and then after that, for the third round, we will have 3 cars moving on, and then after that, the finals, in which it's all down to the final 2. And now it's time to meet the cars that are going to be participating in this week's weekly race. From the fantasy side, we have Formula Flashback, Monta Racer, Formula Street, my favorite, GT Racer, How About's little brother, GT Hunter, Baja Truck, Mach Speeder, Scupa de Fuego, Hover and Out, and Turbo Charged. And for the realistic side, Mario's Standard Kart. The reason why that's a realistic car is because of the fact that it is seen in a video game. The Datsun 510 wagon. How about a Datsun 510? The Corvette Grand Sport Roadster. Ford Escort RS 1600s. McLaren Senna. 11 Dodge Charger RT. Datsun 240Z. Lamborghini Centenario Roadster, and finally the 2018 Honda Civic Type R. Those are your 20 cars that are going to race on the speed run for today's weekly race. And hopefully the best car from either side of the aisle will win. It's time now to start round number 1 as we turn on the digital speedometer and get these cars' speeds read. It's time now to begin round number 1. It's time to turn on the digital speedometer. There you go. The winner will go right here, and hopefully the record will not be beaten. First up, from the fantasy side, we will have GT Racer go first. .359 scale miles an hour. Now bear in mind, this is taken at this image is taken at an angle, so it does show so it may show it says 355, but I am looking at it from a different point of view. So 359 is the record. He gets to be right over here. If a car is facing like this, that means that he is the record holder right now. Now for the realistic side, we are going to have, let's see here, we are going to have Datsun 510. .292, he did not beat the record. Cars that do not beat the record are getting put off of camera. Next up, on the fantasy side of things, GT Hunter. .375, we have a new record. Oh, 379 actually. 379, sorry, 379. And by the way, the Datsun 510 scores the slowest. Yes, scores the slowest record so far with 292. Let's see who is next. For the realistic side, we will have McLaren Senna. This is the orange one that looks like it should belong in Forza Motorsport 7. $291. Not enough. Now on record for the slowest speed recorded. For the fantasy side, we will have Formula Street. $334, not enough, and qualifies, I think, third. Just now repositioning the cars who did not beat the record or has the record beaten offside in order based on speed. Next up, we will have from the realistic side, Mario's Standard Kart. This is a fast one, so hopefully it will win. 455. New record. New blistering record. Some of y'all may say because it's short and stubby. Just because it's short and stubby doesn't mean it's always going to post a fast time. It has to be made absolutely perfectly in order for it to get a speed read. Because there are some cars who are longer than that has posted speeds like that before. For those of y'all who are wondering. Next up, Baja Truck. We haven't seen this in a while, and thanks to these wheels right here, this can now fit on the track. So yes, only this version and then the high-speed wheels version are the only versions of Baja Truck that can fit on the track. Any other ones definitely cannot. And that one escaped from beneath my fingers, so we will still get a speed read, and it's 344. Goes right in the middle between, or right in front of, wait a minute, 344? I think it said 334, 344, so I think that's right in the middle between Formula Street, right in the middle of Formula Street, I think. Or you know what, let me just race it again, because I kind of didn't pay attention here, so let's race it again. 332. So that's right in the middle between GT Racer and Formula Street. Or no, in the middle of Formula Street and Datsun 510. Next one. We're going to have the Datsun 240Z. $375. So that would put it right in the middle between GT Racer and GT Hunter. $375 he scored. Next car up is going to be Datsun 510 wagon. Oh wait, that's not the Datsun 510 wagon. This is the Datsun 510 wagon. Ties with a 375. So what that means is that we put together 510 wagon with a 375. Next up, Monte Racer. $374. Right in the middle. Or no, not right in the middle, but just a hair shy of 375. So So far we have a tie for third place. Next up, we will have the Escort R1600. Now this one is a fast guy right here. $373. A 373. Who is next? Turbo Charged. A 373, so he ties with the Escort R1600. So there is a tie for third and fifth place, which means there'll be two tiebreaker races happening. Next up, we will have the Corvette Grand Sport Roadster. This, just like the Escort R1600, is made in Indonesia. Wow, 372. Despite that vehicle going seriously quick. Next up, we will have, and then by the way, this goes in between the Escort and the GT Racer. Next up, we will have, I believe it's Hovering Out. And we start going right down the middle here. Or right down from 372 to 371. We're seeing a downward trend here. If those of you are wondering, I got the cars' names written down on a notebook, so I am recording the speed so that I do not forget. But next up, we will have the 2018 Honda Civic Type R. The FK8 version, for those of y'all who want to be specific on what type of chassis this is. Here we go. 370. Yet another case of the downward trend. So, 2018 Honda Civic Type R gets a 370. Next is going to be Mach Speeder. I might predict that this goes 369. Let's see. $337. I was wrong. So let's see here. 337. Where would that put him at? I think that will put him right between Formula Street and GT Racer. Next up is going to be the 16 Lamborghini Centenario Roadster. I wish Hot Wheels would have made the coupe version, but the Roadster will do just fine. But this would have been good to put in the HW Roadster series, though, to be honest, instead of the exotics. But who cares? It's in Hot Wheels no matter what. 358. So that is in between. So as before the GT Racer. Anyone else scored a 358? Nobody did. Next up, Formula Flashback. We haven't seen this guy in a while, so we're glad to have him back. So here we go. Let's see if he scores 357. So the Centenario is the cutoff, so that means 357. He will not make the cutoff. Yes, what that means is he has to beat, or he had to beat the Centenario in order to make the cutoff, but he did not. Now it's time to see what the 11 Dodge Charger RT. He has to beat the Centenario in order to make the cutoff or tie it. He has to beat 358 or tie it. 368. He doubles it. Taking a look, looks like that will put him right in the middle of the GT Racer and the Civic Type R. And then finally, we have ourselves the Scupa de Fuego. He has to beat the GT Racer, which is a top speed of 359, which is the first car we actually started with. So here we go, final one, make it count. 367. GT Racer is out. Yep, 367. Now, we have a tie for 3rd place and 5th place, which are the Datsun 240Z and the Datsun 510 wagon. And for 5th place, it is the 74 Escort R1600 and turbocharged. So, here are the cars in question. This is the battle for 3rd, battle for 5th. So let's do the battle for 3rd first. Fastest wins only. I will not write these down as these are tiebreaker races. First up, the 240Z. 378. It looks like it says 376, but it's 378 because I have the camera at an angle for those y'all who are wondering. So don't be commenting, it says 376. It says 378 because it's at an angle. Here's his 510 wagon. Beat 378. He cannot. 366. So that means the 240Z will be moving on to the next round. And finally, these two. We're going to start with the Escort. 376. Again, these are not being written down. These are just tiebreaker races. So whatever happens, happens in this one. Now for turbocharged. 364, which means the Escort R1600 is going to move on. So here are your top 10 that are moving on to the next round. We have Mario Standard Kart, GT Hunter, Datsun 240Z, Monster Racer, the 74 Escort R1600, Corvette Grand Sport Roadster, hovering out, 2018 Honda Civic Type R, 11 Dodge Charger RT, and then Scupa de Fuego, the GT Racer, Centenario Roadster, Formula Flashback, Mach Speeder, Formula Street, Baja Truck, Datsun 510, McLaren Senna, Datsun 510 Wagon, and also Turbocharged have all been eliminated. This is your top 10, and round number 2 is going to start right now. Alright guys, round number 2, we have the cars lined up from ascending order, which means from the fastest to the slowest. So let's start things off with the standard Mario Kart, or Mario Standard Kart actually. For those y'all wondering, Princess Peach is hard to find, so let me know if you have a hard time finding that. 445 is the speed. Or 449 actually. He's still the fastest. But maybe some of these cars might give him a run for his money. Like GT Hunter, maybe. Let's see what he does. .374. So he's slower than its previous speed of 379. Next up, we have Datsun 240Z. .362, yet another slow speed from 375. And GT Hunter, and the 240Z was faster, or the GT Hunter, or let's say the GT Hunter's current speed is slower than the Datsun 240Z's first round speed targets. So that's interesting. Next up, Monta Racer. I have a couple of this casting around. Hopefully it'll come in 5 spokes. 373. So it's only a mile shorter. Not that much change. But still has to be put behind GT Hunter. Next up, the Escort RS 1600. .372 looks like. Let's see here. What was his fast? 373. So what was the last one? 373. So that's a 372. So he's right behind. So it's okay. So it says 372. So what that means is he's right behind the Datsun 240Z. Now the Corvette Grand Sport Roadster did a 372 in the last round. Let's see if he can improve from that. .383. He massively improved and took the second place spot. Yes, 383 is his fastest speed yet. We have an increase. Hovering out is next. So far, no ties. .382. So right behind. Yep, right behind Corvette Grand Sport, and also is his fastest one yet. .2018 Honda Civic Type R is next. .355, the slowest ever speed recorded in the second round. His previous one was a 370, so that is very slow. It might and will definitely knock him out of the second round here. Next up, we have the 11 Charger RT. .365. So that is faster than the Datsun 240Z, but the cutoff is the Monta Racer. So what that means, he is not fast in the Monta Racer though. And his speed from the first round to the second round is 3 scale miles an hour slower. It is all up to Scoopit de Fuego. Scoopit de Fuego has to beat Monta Racer in order to move on to the third round. Here we go. .357, he cannot do it. So what that means is he is out, and here are your top 5 fastest. Mario Standard Kart, Corvette Grand Sport Roadster, Hovering Out, GT Hunter, and Monta Racer. 2 Realistics, 3 Fantasies. And round 3 will begin right after this. Third round coming up. Here are your top 5 cars that are moving on as they get their speeds read. Starting off with, once again, the fastest car in the bunch, Mario's Standard Kart. Starting off with a 457, which I believe is the fastest speed that he's ever recorded. It's going to take a lot of guts in order to beat that one. But here's Corvette Grand Sport Roadster. He posted his fastest speed at 383. Let's see if he can beat it. 396. Reaching up in the 400s. Fastest speed he's ever posted. Now for hovering out. He is the cutoff vehicle no matter what. 376. So 370 or no 378. 378 is the cutoff. If I can put these right here. It says 378 is the cutoff there. So these final two cars have to do a 378 or better. So here we go. GT Hunter is next. $393. This puts a big dent for Monteracer because Monteracer now has to beat a 393. $393 is the speed to beat. He basically has to try to hit 400. Let's see if he got what it takes to beat it. If not, then he's out. $376, he cannot do it. So, that means that Hover Now and Monteracer are gone. And they have to watch from the sides. Or from off camera. Here are your top three. So what that means is in the next round, which I will gladly call it the fourth round, only one or only two of these three cars are going to move on. So best of luck to all of the three. And the fourth round will be coming up next. Fourth round here. Once again, we're starting off with the Mario Standard Kart. Good luck. $451. So far, he's keeping an average here. He may just be the vehicle to beat. But here we go. We have Corvette Grand Sport Roadster. Oh, we wiggled a little bit and put out a 375. Now, here is your final car right here, and that is GT Hunter. So, hopefully, GT Hunter has to beat a 375 in order to challenge the standard Mario's Standard Kart. Let's see if he can do it. 374, he cannot. So here is your final matchup. And it's all realistic, so which means no matter what, we are getting a realistic car winning. So, yes, it will be the Mario Standard Kart taking on the Corvette Grand Sport Roadster. The finals is coming up next. Here we go. Finals. And it all comes down to this. The Standard Kart versus the Corvette Grand Sport Roadster. These cars will race twice this time. Yes, changing the rules a little bit. Race twice. To post the speed and better their speed. And then the opposing car has to try to beat it twice over. If he beats it in one sitting, then he's your winner. If he doesn't beat it, then, well, we know who the other victor is. So it's time now for the standard Mario Kart to get on the track and post a speed and see if he can beat it. In our final race, first posted speed, 447. Let's see if he can beat it. .425. So 447 is his best. So it's now time for the Corvette Grand Sport to beat it. .384. That is his second fastest time, or second fastest speed, or third fastest, actually. This is his final shot to beat the Mario Kart. .371, that is his slowest ever. From the third fastest to the slowest. What that means is the Mario Standard Kart is your winner. Congratulations to the Mario Standard Kart for becoming today's Speed Run Champion. This car outlasted 9 realistic cars and the entire group of fantasy cars in order to be consistent with the speeds, riding off from 455, 449, 457, 451, 447, and 425. That is the average, that's the average. Those are the speeds that were posted. We can't do an average because, quite frankly, not that many folks would probably care about that. If you want me to do an average of the car speeds in a future weekly race, let me know in the comment section for further analytics and whatnot. But that will do it for today's Hot Wheels weekly race. I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Comment down below. If you are brand new watching, be sure you subscribe and also turn on the notifications bell as well. It's your boy Chris Cage, and I'm coming at you 2 times, and we will see you at the next video.